Hey, one of the best segments out there.
By
Seriously, one of the best. And this is an exciting week to talk about it. Scrap science. Matthew, you've been a part of some special scraps, not just players, but attendees. Been a part of the last two. So, Matthew, how was it? Being there front row for Sergei Bobrovsky and Alex Nedeljkovic's fight.
Well, 6 years ago, I was a part of another goalie fight up in Calgary. So I actually set a reminder from 6 years from now. What year would that be?
2032.
32. I set an alarm for January 2032. Remind the goalie on your team that you got to fight again. Because I want to continue to be a part of these. Brady, I talked about it earlier in the show, and I said it, and I believe it. It was the loudest regular season building I've been a part of in any situation ever. And let me walk you through it right now. So Samo gets tripped. The defenseman who trips Samo has the puck in the corner, like a foot away from the boards. Roddy comes in and kind of buried him from behind, but the guy's so big,
don't mind it.
Don't mind it, but if a guy's that big, you're not going to go into the boards that hard. I don't know if he's trying to sell it maybe a little bit, but whatever the case, went in pretty hard. And then their goalie, which I think personally is a no-no, even though Ned, hell of a goalie, then obviously incredible competitor. But I think that goalie should just, if you're going to fight the goalie, but don't come in on the player and start throwing some blockers. I get he was trying to stick up for him a little bit, but that's just one of my no-nos. I'm going to throw that out there.
Goalie comes out of the crease, personally, it's game on.
Game on. So yeah, if he comes out of the crease, then he might have to eat a couple then. But I could tell when he came in like a little hot into the scrum, Nedeljkovic did. And I immediately looked down to the left and I just saw Bobby get the little heel toe going out of the crease. And I'm like, okay, this is we're down 3-1 in the game. It's probably midway through the third. It's not looking good that we're going to win this game. So Bobby did the greatest thing I've ever seen him. He's done so many incredible things. I mean, he was won his 2 Stanley Cups. This to me though, was just in a different way one of the most impactful things he's done. So he sees Nedeljkovic throw a couple. He starts going down there and it hit. I hope there's an overhead view of it, but he hit the blue line or the red line or maybe in between. And then he got skating harder and harder. And then he's going freaking fast, chucks off the stuff and goes right at him. And right before he went at him, he gives him let's go. And I'm you haven't fucking kidding me. This isn't actually happening.
Are you
right
on
now.
the bench?
I'm on the bench and I'm seeing him start from going slow, faster, glove and blocker shed. And I'm like, this
Did he
this
have
is
a little
not
heel pick too? Going in there? Did he go down a little bit?
No, a hilarious part too. He goes in there, gives him the head nod, and he came in so hot and they're wearing all this gear that he just bounced off Ned. Ned, I don't know if he threw him a little reverse, but bounced right off him. He sheds the stuff. The greatest thing, them both starting to fight with their helmets on. So good. They both get their helmets off. And then there was a little bit of
shadow boxing.
There's shadowing
the left side.
But Bob threw a couple big ones at the start. I was like, holy shit. But that's so out of every goalie's comfort zone. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
But, especially Bob, he's such an incredible competitor. And I mean, he's tough. He plays through stuff, all that stuff. But I mean, we do not want him fighting or doing any of that. But he felt in that situation, this is what he needs to do. Their goalie was taking advantage of one of the players. And it's my job I think one of his quote was, it was my job to let him know. You would have thought we won a 3rd straight Stanley Cup in the locker room after the game. Guys going up to him. I was
what was he saying after? Was he so many great memories, but was he that was awesome?
I mean, we just I can't even remember exactly. I gave him a slow clap. I was calling him Bobby Ali after. Still am. Guys really couldn't believe it. We had a hard time really analyzing the game at all because of just how crazy that moment was. I thought it was so cool too. The ref, this is a very cool inside info story. So after the fight goes down, the goalies fight. And when I was in Calgary, both the goalies got kicked out of the game, but it was because it was a second fight. So if a goalie, it was because I fought Bear first.
Yeah.
So the reason they got kicked out was because you can't have a second fight after a stoppage. So they were gone. So when they fought, I was like, okay, they're kicked out. And the refs come up to us like, no, like they can go back and they can go back in the net. That's fine.
Up.
Yeah. So because it was not the second fight. So goalies out there in the NHL, like if you fight, you don't get kicked out, I guess. So I think we need to see some more scraps.
Yes, that's invited. You just can scrap and just go back in that.
So
like you're probably on the highest adrenaline rush, but that might snap you back into.
It might give the boys like, I mean, look at us. We've won 3 straight ever since he's fought. Bobby turned it around a little bit for us, but it's okay. So Bobby goes to the room and we're like, all right, he's gone. Danny comes in net and then they come up to us like, he doesn't have to go to the room. Like he can come back. And like the round of applause that he got leaving the ice was incredible. So they talked to Teddy, our head equipment manager, and we're like, Teddy, like send him back. He's like, okay, he needs 3 minutes because he geared down pretty much everything.
Yeah.
We're like, okay. And the refs were like, no, like we gotta get it going here. And we were talking to the ref, one of the refs by the bench, and we go, you have to hear this crowd pop. Like we need this. I think Paul was like, the game needs this or something. So everyone was like, we're not going to this face off. We had a power play. We are not going to this face off until Bobby's in that net because we want to hear the ovation. So it went from like 3 minutes. So then it went to like 4. And then it was like, all right, is he actually coming? And then it was 2 minutes and then it was 30 seconds. And when they said 30 seconds, like all the guys were lined up right outside the door, the whole bench standing up, knowing what's coming. And you could see him walking down. Obviously we could, because we're in the ice, walking from like the locker room to the ice. And I think all the fans behind me, like behind the penalty box at the Florida rink, could see him starting to walk and immediately like, let's go.
Like a rock star.
And when he hit the ice, it was just, it went nuclear. It was absolutely unbelievable. But I thought it was cool after the game too. Just we're all going in the locker room before, normally after a loss, I mean, or really a win. You kind of just go and you go right to your stall. And after a win, you're high-fiving a little bit and singing the win song. And after a loss, you just go to your stall, and Paul doesn't come in after the game. So you just get undressed and kind of get the hell out of there. Every single person went to Bobby first and gave him like a nux, a pat, like a laugh, a chuckle. I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was all time. It just adds to his legacy though. Really. I mean, 2 Stanley Cups, 2 Vezinas, a fight. Bobby does it all. He really does.
A goal now.
He's got to get a goal now. And I mean, even if he doesn't get that goal, I mean, he's done more than any goalie is ever going to have in their career. And, just a surefire slam dunk Hall of Famer. And just, like I said, it adds to his legacy. I'm just so lucky to call him a teammate. And that moment really did. I'm serious when I say it, brought us together as a team so tight after such a not great game when you think about it from us, and kind of turned a negative into a huge positive. And we're 3-0 since. So
love that.
Bobby's the best. And this, we got a comment here. So this was from 8 weeks ago, commenting on our post talking about how we need more goalie fights, grow the game.
Yeah,
we're always trying to grow the game. And Mogul Standards says, Bobby would never. He is a literal angel. Well, Mogul Standards, he is a literal angel, but he would. He friggin' would. And I saw it, and it was just one of the greatest things I've ever seen. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. So, okay, moving on.
That was good shit, man.
Wait, Crater, don't we have another good fight here?
Yeah.
From college hockey?
College hockey.
Spin that shit. Let's spin that shit.
East, UMass Lowell, BU,
Brady.
Connor Eddy.
I haven't seen the video yet.
I'm giving you details.
Is it that good?
It's special. Like, imagine doing this. I don't even know if Friday or Saturday night you're going to what used to be T's Pub, great spot at BU, and you're just post-scrapped. Student section loves it. You're going to study hall the next day with a couple cuts in your knuckles. Hey, where'd you get that from? You have to be there. You have to be at a Gaddis Arena throwing bombs.
Oh, I have seen this video.
He's got his buckets off. And this kid was just nasty at the World Juniors. Look at these ladies trying to get in there, just not experienced at all.
Unexperienced ladies.
Unexperienced college fighting ladies. They legit just fought.
So who played at World Juniors, Brady?
I think Sasha, that number 9 there.
He's pretty nails, man. He was trucking them.
Some bombs.
I want to get into this, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions of what you think. But first of all, I love how they were both in the box before. So my guess is they had a little matching minor, and they were talking in the box, and somebody was like, well, let's just fucking go then. Like, let's just fucking shred the buckets.
You won't go me? You'll go.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, fucking do it.
Let's do it.
So do you think they left the gloves and everything in the box? That's unbelievable.
No, the gloves are on the ice. Helmets were in the box, it looked like.
Okay. I'm gonna paint this picture for you. We've had a lot of serious talks with the college hockey guys on my team. My opinion, you should be allowed one fight a year if you're a college hockey player, and here's why. At least one. But one, you can get kicked out of the game, but with no suspension after, and here's why. Mm-hmm. Teams, hockey's still a huge part of the NHL, right? And teams look at these kids from college that are more like older guys, I would say. I don't want to say less skilled guys, but if you're an older player in college, you're most likely going to play that checking, tough.
Yeah.
I don't want to say fighter role because it's not a role anymore, but you're playing that style of a game, most likely, if you're going to make it. If you're 21 older playing college hockey. I think that you should be able to showcase that talent because that's still a huge talent to have in the NHL. If you're a guy that can fight and do it all and score and be tough, like those guys are hard. I mean, that's you, Wilson, all these guys. Like those are some of the most impactful players in the game. So I think that college should be allowed to fight. I understand why people don't like that, but what's going to end up happening is these guys go to college, they get drafted or recruited, they go to these development camps or the rookie camps. And then they're fighting guys that are experienced versus them being inexperienced because they feel like they have to show that part off to their game because they're getting recruited out of college to play that style, that rough tumble style. And then those are the kids that get knocked out or get seriously hurt in their fights just because of the inexperience. So I think there should be a way to implement it in college without getting suspended. I'll probably get in trouble for saying that. I don't care. I think they should be allowed one fight without getting suspended. And then if they fight after that, then throw them with a 5-gamer. Like, don't ruin these guys' years because they got no fight. Like, it's crazy. It's fighting still a huge part of the NHL game. And I just want to know what you think about everything. That's my mindset. And you're the one who actually played college hockey, so I'm interested to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, I feel like I've asked that question before, like even when I was there, and I feel like this is the answer that I got was, I mean, they were cages where all the other leagues are wearing visors. So I think it has to do with something with like insurance for colleges, and it's like the extra insurance for like if you don't wear a cage and all like the dental and stitches and fighting stuff like that. Like it's something to do with the schools and insurance. Like,
so you're saying they are not allowed to fight because of insurance?
I think so. And like just say like
interesting.
That's I feel like the answer that I've gotten in the past. But
do you agree with that?
No, absolutely not. You know, you say one fight, I say 3 because they're doing it in their juniors. They're able to do it there, whether it's a USHL. You know, the U.S. program's a different situation, but same thing with cages, but they're under 18. All these major juniors, they're allowed to fight. And I know the Quebec Major Junior League created that no fighting rule, which is dumb.
Bad league.
Dumb. And
I think that's
more dangerous. That's more dangerous to have a no fighting league because then guys get taken advantage of and they know they don't have to answer to anything, where you have at least the accountability aspect. And I just think it's crazy. That's a topic for a different time, but I can't wrap my head around it where, like, yes, there have been unfortunate situations. Yes. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I in a fight, I never want to see somebody get hurt. And I never want to see, like, when I'm watching a fight, I don't want somebody to get hurt by hitting their head off the ice. You want to see. Like, that's the last thing. You're fighting just for your own different reasons. Like, yeah, you get angry, you want to beat the guy up, but it's like at the end of the day, you don't want his health to be affected, for a long period of time, his family had issues. Like, nobody wants that. So
no, I think my argument though is I think guys are more likely to get hurt into a fight if they're not being able to practice
100%. 100%.
And I actually think that college hockey, if they want more guys to come out of college hockey and play in the NHL, this could be one way. I'm not saying you have to, like, if they fight, kick them out of the game. If there's got to be some, I think they'll have more guys that are older college players that'll have a chance to play at the NHL. Whereas if you're going to college hockey and most seniors, unless you're, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically I think it would allow more college hockey teams to recruit guys to their teams, being like, hey, if you play this, rough and tough style and maybe get into a scrap or two and show off that part of your game, Florida might want to sign you. They might want a guy like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it opens a door. Like, to your point, like a lot of those guys, late developers where, those early stages, like all those colleges that are around, like scouting all the NHL. But when you kind of get past, say you develop when you're 21, like you've already gone 3 years of your draft eligibility is gone. So you're a free agent. So it's like, you need to have the opportunity to show everything in your toolbox to get a deal. So I agree with you. And another thing from the college experience, like I'm looking at it just like, how sick would it be? Start off the weekend, Friday night, BU versus BC. So like, you know what? Let's get this place rocking. And then you just take off the helmet. Boom,
you go on Friday night at Agana, Saturday night at BC. You come back to T's Pub Saturday night, and you're 2-0, and you're walking around with the belt around your shoulder.
Just
you're playing at Miami of Ohio. You go to Brick Street after a big weekend. Oh my gosh, all these you go like to any college.
Endless capabilities of like even growing the game. Like this is like we're all about growing the game. Like this could take college hockey players to a whole different stratosphere. Now we're talking NILs getting bigger. Now we're starting to get that in the hockey world.
When there is no fighting, you can't fight in that. Like, how is the game a little bit different when you need to like kind of have a momentum shift or things like that? Like, is it that different when you can't fight? Like in college hockey, you need to get maybe a big hit or something. Like, can fighting elevate or change that game that drastically, you would say?
Yes. 100% yes. Yes. And I think that I've never looked at it where, so I've been up. I remember playing in Calgary one time. We were playing in Anaheim. I'll never forget this. And we're up 3-0, and Zach Ronaldo was asked to fight. And it's 3-0. You would think that like, no, we don't need to we're going good, whatever. I remember the coaches or some guys on the bench were yelling like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, fucking, who cares? Like, keep getting us going. It could be 6-0 after this scrap. And he fought and he did great. And it like gave our bench more energy. Like, I don't believe necessarily that a fight can take momentum away from you. Like I don't see it.
I've never experienced that.
I think it can only just gas you right up. Like seriously. Like, I mean, there's been times, especially guys that maybe don't fight like Bob, guys that don't do it often. I remember an unbelievable fight in Calgary. Sean Monahan fought Nugent Hopkins, and it was just two guys that didn't fight in the building. It was rocking. I was like, this is great. I think that it you need it in the game because you need to kind of police it a little bit too. Like if there's no fighting, people can just run around, do whatever the hell they want and not have any like
nothing to worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
And that's why I feel like at college, like you kind of have some like frauds like that, like will just go out there and bully you. But like if the fighting was allowed, you'd be like, all right, let's do this. And then they back down. Like it's because with no fighting, there's really no accountability. Like, yeah, you get a penalty for charging. Like, how can you answer that without, like, I mean, you get a hit maybe once in a while, but like, what are the odds he puts himself in a position to get smoked?
Little locker boxing on the ice.
Yeah.
Just like punching each other in the cage does nothing.
Yeah. Like this, like where you risk like actually getting popped in the face. Like not many guys really want to have that feeling. So, I agree with Matthew that it's more of an account. Like it's a crazy comment, but I think it's safer in the way of for the accountability. Like top players, like if there's no fighting, then like what's stopping guys from just going after them nonstop, slashing, like to hit them late? Like there's no fighting, so how are you gonna like get back at the guy who did that? Like you can't really, unless you're willing to risk jumping him and doing it illegally, if there's no fighting, get suspended and stuff like that. So,
and that's why I think that
I wouldn't mind seeing it.
That's why I think fighting in the NHL is so important too. And like those guys play such a big role still. I think every team's got to have one personally. Yeah.